Hey, Money Masters! I'm back with step 6 of the Control Your Money budget series. So, in step 5, we talked about household expenses and we also talked about transportation. But in step 6, we are talking about lifestyle expenses. So, there's a lot of things that I'm sure you didn't hear in step 5 that you expected to hear that you're going to hear about in step 6. And that's because in step 6, these are the things that are based on your lifestyle, the type of lifestyle you live. So I have my notes over here because I can't keep everything in my head. Let's get right into it. First, under lifestyle, and I'm just going to get it out of the way because I know y'all are tired of hearing about this from me, but it's subscriptions. It is what it is. So again, you're writing down your expenses. So you have your list from step 5 and you have your column A, which is the expense, whatever it is. Column B is the amount of that expense, and column C is the due date. So I'm going to go step by step here. This is going to be a long video, step by step of what you need to write down on your budget. So when we talk about subscriptions, there's all kinds that most people these days have something in every one of these categories. So we're going to talk about TV streaming services. That's like Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, HBO, Showtime, Starz. Whatever it is, I need you to write each one down on your list. Each one individually. If you have Netflix, write Netflix down, the amount, and the date that bill is due. If you have Hulu, write Hulu down, so on and so forth. Do not lump them together and say TV streaming. No. I need you to write each one down on your paper, on your whatever you're writing it down, on your notes on your phone, however you're keeping track. However you're keeping track from what you did in step 5. So if you don't have a list, I need you to go back to step 5 because you skipped a step. TV. Okay, now we talk about music. I made a video recently about music. Again, you got to list each one separately. Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, SoundCloud, YouTube Music, whatever it is. Write it down. Write down each one by one. The amount for each one by one. And the due date for each one by one. And when I say due date, that's the date that you get billed for those services every month. Storage services. Google, Apple storage, whichever one it is, wherever it is. If you pay for any kind of storage, like a digital storage, you need to write that down one by one, okay? And amount and due dates for each. I actually have that as a subscription, but I also want to mention, because I know a lot of people have storage units. So you're going to have to write down storage unit. If you have a storage unit, write down storage unit, whatever the amount of that is on a monthly basis, and the due date. Delivery services, majority of us. Amazon Prime, maybe it's Walmart Plus. If you have a delivery service, that you pay for a monthly basis, you need to write it down. Again, each one, not delivery service. I don't want to see that on anybody's budget. You need to write Amazon Prime. You need to write Walmart Plus. Again, the amount and the due date. If you have a subscription to the gym, we're going to be writing that down. And I'm talking about gym, exercise facilities like CrossFit or something like that. If you have a class subscription like for Pilates or whatever it is, and I'm talking about like Planet Fitness, YouFit, Equinox, whatever it is, write it down on that list one by one. Again, this is going to be a long video, so press pause if you need to. Do what you need to do, write it down, and come back and press play again for the next section. For me, I have a subscription to a security service. So don't be trying to come up in here, okay, because Brink's going to let me know. So you need to write that down on your budget. I have a line for Brinks on my budget, and I have the amount and the due date. And then anything else that has a monthly fee. So I talked like a storage unit. you're going to have a monthly fee for your storage unit. You got to write that down. Some people get like pet food delivered. Some people, you sign up for like something where they send you clothes every month, or vitamins. You may have water delivered to your house. Whatever it is, if you have a subscription where you have signed an agreement to get whatever it is on a monthly basis for a specific price, you need to have that on your budget. Again, one by one. One by one. Don't lump anything together. I need everything that you're subscribed to written down on your list with the amount and the due date. All right, moving on. Food delivery. I'm getting the things out the way that I done fussed at y'all about. So y'all can't say I'm sitting here fussing, because I'm not fussing. At this point, we are just writing things down. I'm not, no judgment. There's no judgment. We are just writing. We're getting a picture of reality today. We're just writing it down. So if you pay a monthly fee for Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, or if you know that you get these things every month, like every day, you're ordering through the apps, you got to have that somewhere on your budget. So I need you to write down Uber Eats. And then if it's not like a premium subscription or something like that, you need to try to do an average. So that means you look back at the previous month, look at how much you spent, and I know the app will tell you that. Look at how much you spent, and then write that down. This is my amount for Uber Eats for the month. This is my amount for DoorDash for the month. This is my amount for Grubhub for the month. Some people do, what do you call those things? Meal prep services like HelloFresh. Write that down. HelloFresh, whatever the amount of that monthly cost is, and the due date. And then Instacart. A lot of people use Instacart, and I know that you could pay them like a monthly fee. You want to write that down as well, okay? For Instacart right now, we're only going to do the monthly fee. So you want to write Instacart, the amount, and the due date. Again, everything needs to have its own line, okay? Expense, amount, due date. Everything that we're talking about today. Next step is grooming. Grooming. Y'all see I got my hair done, because people always be talking about my hair. Y'all know who y'all are. But anyway, grooming. So every month, how much do you spend? We'll start with hair. So you have hair, okay? If you get styled, if you get braids, whatever it is, however you do your hair. If you're a man, if you identify as a male and you go to a barber, you want to have barber. Whatever it is, however you need to encapsulate it on your budget. Have it written down, the amount that you spend on a monthly basis. You don't have to have a due date for that, of course, because those dates could change. Manicures and pedicures, I need that written down. And when I say manicures, I mean nails, aesthetic nails, and then pedicures. So you want to write manicure / pedicure, however much you spend on a monthly basis. Okay, you don't have to have a due date, because the date could change on that. Also, that falls under grooming is waxing. Okay, so if you go and you get a wax, some of those have a monthly fee, but sometimes we know that or person A, I don't get waxed anymore, but maybe you spend $50 a month on that. So you put waxing and you put $50. Anything related to grooming, anything, your hair, your eyebrows, maybe you get your eyebrows done, right? Eyebrows, how much that costs. Maybe you get like a cosmetic procedure, Botox, lip tint, or whatever these things are these days. Write it down and the amount. Okay, you want everything related to your personal grooming listed on your budget. All right, next up, entertainment. So what do you do on a bi-weekly basis for fun? Do you go to get coffee? Are you going to the movies? Is brunch, like Sunday brunch, your thing? Or do you have to have breakfast every day you go to work? Do you have to have dinner certain days of the week? Like, what is it? Do you go out to the bar for drinks? What is it? What I need you to do is think about on a monthly basis, what amount of money do you need to feel like you are entertaining yourself in the way that you like to be entertained on a regular basis? Okay? I'm not asking you to think about if you want $1 million and you can have all the money in the world, how much would you want to spend on entertaining yourself on a monthly basis? That is not, no, that's not what we're doing right here. Okay? We are creating a budget. So look at your what I like to do in general is look at like the last 3 months. And again, that's going through your bank account, going through your credit cards, or just thinking about like, I know I go out every Friday and I need X amount of money to go out every Friday. It's 4 Fridays in a month in general. What does that total look like? But I want you to be realistic. This is very, very, very important. Be very realistic. This is not judgment. We're not judging ourselves right now. We are just getting a current picture of the way things are. So if you know that you need roughly $300 to cover you going out and getting coffee, going out and having dinner, going out and having drinks on the weekend, going to the movies once a month, whatever it is that, in the ways that you entertain yourself, you want to be very realistic with this number. Because when we get into how to use your budget, that is going to be a very, very important number. And I get really serious about the entertainment line on a budget because you're working and you're making decisions based on the lifestyle that you want to be able to live. And I know if I go to work every day and I feel like I can't give myself a cup of coffee, what is it worth? What is it worth? So I need you to really be realistic about that entertainment amount. Okay. All right. We are about halfway through. So if you need to take a break, press pause. Again, come back and get started all over again. Okay. So the next line is shopping. So are you a person that feels like you have to do a little bit of shopping every time you get paid? Okay. I know I'm talking to somebody. And again, no judgment. This is not judgment. I'm just thinking about, when I grew up, I knew payday was like, okay, we're going to go get a little something. You got to get some kind of return on your investment of pouring yourself into a job 40 hours, 50 hours, or 60 hours every week. So I understand. Again, it's not judgment, but we just need to know what's going on there. So if you are a person that you got to hop in Ross, you got to hop in TJ Maxx, you got to go buy home goods every payday and spend a little something, what does that look like? Okay? Somebody gonna feel like this is personal, but it's not. I talk to a lot of people that end up in Ross. I've seen some of y'all when I went to Ross. So it's not personal, it's just realistic. But we need to know what that looks like on a monthly basis for you. So on a monthly basis, how much do you need for shopping? I'm not talking about groceries because we cover groceries in step 5. Okay? When I say shopping, I mean clothes, I mean makeup, jewelry, shoes, little things for your house, accessories, stuff like that. How much money do you feel like you need on a monthly basis for shopping? Okay, no judgment. We're just getting a realistic picture. All right, this next category does not apply to everybody, but it is a category that must be on your budget in order for it to run and work effectively. So that's dependents. And when I say dependents, I mean children, I mean parents, anybody that you take care of or contribute to the care of. So it, again, does not apply to everybody, but if it does apply to you, listen up. All right, childcare expenses. So there's a lot of expenses involved in caring for a child. You need to write, maybe we could start with child care. So if you have a daycare, if you take your kids to a daycare or after school program or something like that, you want to write it down on your budget. Again, each one. So you may have multiple children. Some of them may be in daycare. Some of them may have to go to aftercare in their school. You need to write down each one on your budget, the amount and the date that it's due, because these do have due dates. So we're back to due dates on these. Lunch money. If your kids need lunch money on a weekly basis, you need to total that up. In a month, there's typically 4 weeks. Some weeks have 5. Some months have 5 weeks, but in general, a month has 4 weeks. So if they need, I have no idea how much lunch money is now, but I know these kids be getting Chipotle at the school, delivered to the school, so I can only imagine whatever your child needs to eat at school in a week, even if that's money for snacks, whatever it is, times it by 4 and come up with a monthly amount. Okay? Bus and transportation money. So you may use a bus service to get your child to school, or they may take the public bus. Maybe there's like a ride service that they use. Whatever it is, look at what that costs for the month. So look at your previous month. What did that cost for the month? That's the amount that you're going to write down. And if it has an associated due date, write that due date down as well, okay? And then upcoming school expenses. So children generally go on field trips, especially high school kids. They have a lot of things that are in the works for homecoming, graduation, prom, that type of thing. I need you to write those down. We need to write those down somewhere. I know that they happen at various times, but try to write down as many of them as possible. Again, one line per item. One line per item. Don't just write upcoming school expenses. Write field trips. Write prom. Write homecoming. Whatever it is, write it down one by one. If you don't know the amount of the expense, don't worry about it at this time. Okay, this is the only category I'm going to tell you, don't worry about it. All right, but write down that there will be an expense. We need to at least keep track of that. All right, and the same if you have parents that you take care of and there are costs associated with that. I don't know what those would be. Maybe medication, right? Even for children, medication. Some children have monthly medication that they need to have paid for. So anything related to the care of others that you are involved with, you want to write down the expense, write down the amount, and any associated due dates. Very, very important. All right, and we're almost over. The last one is miscellaneous. So this is anything that we have not talked about under the other categories of lifestyle that you incur or you have to pay for on a monthly basis. For me, that's a car wash, even though, when is the last time I had my car wash? Cousin. I'm going to be reaching out to you, cousin, if you're watching. But car wash, whatever that amount is, you want to write car wash and whatever that amount is. Landscaping. So I have a house. I have to get the yard cut every month. So I have a line on my budget. Landscaping, whatever that amount is. Pest control. I get pest control because I don't need nobody in the house with me that don't pay no bills up in here. So pest control, the amount, and for me, I have a due date with that. So anything that we have not discussed, anything that you know you have to pay on a monthly basis that we have not discussed needs to be written down here up under miscellaneous. Okay? Expense, amount, and any associated due dates. One by one. Don't lump anything together. Okay? So again, step 6, we have talked about lifestyle. We've talked about subscriptions like TV, music, storage, delivery services, the gym, security, and everything else that could possibly be a subscription service. We talked about food delivery like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, HelloFresh, Instacart. We've talked about grooming, hair, nails, manicure, pedicure, waxing, eyebrows, laser, teeth whitening, whatever it is, write it down. We talked about entertainment, so how much you need on a monthly basis to feel like you're living the life that you want to live right now, or that you have been living. Whatever that is, tally it up, write it down. Shopping, no judgment. None of this is judgment. We're just getting a picture of what it is today. Whatever that amount is that you need on a monthly basis, write it down. The cost of dependents, okay, whether it's children, parents, anyone that you are involved in the care of, and any expenses related to that, write it down. And then again, miscellaneous things that just are part of your lifestyle that we haven't gone over in other categories. I need you to write all of these things down. Again, you should have your list from step 5. You may need to listen to this 2 or 3 times to make sure you don't miss anything. Pause where you go back, pause where you need to. But I need every expense in your life written down. It sounds overwhelming. It's really not. The hardest part is facing all of these different things that need to be written down. And it's not judgment. Don't judge yourself. I'm not judging you. Don't judge yourself. I may judge you a little later on in this process, but I'm not judging you right now. I have not judged you up to this point. So don't judge yourself. We're just trying to get a picture of what is going on so that we can make a strategy on how to make all of this work. All right. This is Amber with Control Your Money. Again, step 6 in the Control Your Money, step 6 in the Control Your Money budget series. Until next time, control your money.